porn may be very good. Even if you don't necessarily watch porn, maybe watch porn by yourself first to figure out if there's certain videos that she might like. Bearing in mind that you know your partner better than anybody else.
Yeah, go out and take those risks and form those real relationships.
Watching porn isn't the issue.
Yeah.
It's how you then put it into real life. Hey guys, and welcome back to Karma Couch. It's me, Annabella Rose, your expert dating coach from Kamalifestyles.com, joined with the other expert dating coach, Iain from Kamalifestyles.com.
Hi everyone.
How's it going?
Good, very good, awesome.
This is Iain's first time on the Karma Couch, so it's going to be very interesting. So today's topic is porn ruining sex? Dun 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 dun. Yes, we're going to talk about it, all the graphic, in-depth details of why porn and how it affects our relationships and our sex lives. But before we start, click on that cheeky subscribe button. Oh yes, and turn on the notifications, as there's going to be so many more videos coming your way. So, let's start. So Iain, do you think that porn is ruining sex?
You know what, a lot of people will come to us and say that, look, I think porn is, killing sex, and a lot of people will say that porn is really bad, which, I can kind of empathize with. I can see where they're coming from, but I don't think it's completely bad, and people might be going...
Like, what do you mean? All the angry feminists out there just be like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Okay, I think we all need to be open and honest. We're all adults here. A large majority of the population watches porn. Now, I was just having a discussion off camera with Iain a minute ago. Hands up, all honesty, I only watched porn for the first time like a couple of weeks ago because my friend was saying, you can't be a sex coach and not watch porn.
I've never seen it in my life.
Liar. So I did, and I watched it, and it's very strange because I think as a woman, because you do find stereotypically that men are more into porn than women are. That is a stereotype. There are a lot of women out there that do love porn, but I found from a female's perspective that I wasn't emotionally and mentally engaged with it.
You weren't stimulated.
I wasn't stimulated. They were being stimulated.
They were.
But I was not. It's very strange because it is so sexual and so graphic.
Yeah.
But to me, it didn't get my juices flowing, really. I think on my own personal basis, the stuff that I can imagine in my head is a lot sexier than... More so, you think? Yeah. I think, but that could just be me and how creative I am generally. But do you think that, especially if you haven't had a lot of sex, so if we're looking at porn is your first introduction to sex on any sort of basis, do you think that is positive or do you think it's negative?
Oh, I think in that case it would be negative. And I think for the guys who are like less experienced, they might have been watching it when they were really young.
Yeah.
Going through puberty, and oh my god,
they just need to masturbate all the time, and they just need to go for gold.
And you see a guy and a girl getting off, and then depending on how quickly you start your first kind of sexual relationship with someone, I think that determines when or if it becomes detrimental, because if you do get a sexual relationship with someone, then you know what the reality is. You kind of start from the basics, what it is,
and you kind of build up, especially if it's a long-term thing. You get to know what that person likes, and you're not going based off of what you've seen. But I do think if porn is your first port of call when it comes to sex, that is daunting. Exactly. Yeah. And like some of the stuff, especially if you dig down into the deep dark realms of the internet, porn isn't it goes so much further than just a boy and a girl. It goes...
Any other examples?
Bukkake. Oh my god, what even is that? What even is that? But, of course, right, so let's take bukkake. If anybody doesn't know what bukkake is, okay. So,
educate me.
Okay, educating people. So bukkake is when you've got one girl and like a vast amount of guys that are all just coming on her. Right, okay. It's gross, in my opinion. But, right, let's just take it as you're watching it. Now, this girl in question is paid to look like she's enjoying it. That is her job. It's her job to sell that experience. And if you are unsure of what sex is like, when you watch a girl enjoying herself, you automatically make that assumption, go, that must be what women like. I'm telling you now, that is not
the case.
That's not the case. That is so far from the case. And if you're only working based on that, your perceptions of how to sexually entertain a female can be led astray. Absolutely led astray. So then as soon as you do get the opportunity to put it in to the bedroom, put it in real life, when you do get a chance to do that, you're so disconnected with what the woman actually wants. You end up having a bad experience because she's not going to enjoy herself if you go to those extremes, especially off the bat, and she's not going to have a good time, and then you're not going to have a good time, and then your actual perception of what real sex is doesn't correlate to what you think sex is, so you end up not having a good time, and there's a disconnect, and trying to find that connection with a girl is going to be really, really difficult for you because of your preconceived notions of porn.
Yeah.
So, do people need to stop watching porn?
I'll tell you an interesting one. Someone had a guy, we were training, and obviously, we coached him to approach, and he got over his anxieties. And then when he met this girl, and he was with her, and he calls me up and he's like, Iain, what do I...
Like in?
Well, no.
Sorry, stay there, babe. I'm
just calm down, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, but no, he called me after and he was like, Iain, it was weird. I have a bit of a problem because he was a bit of an inexperienced guy, and he didn't know. He hadn't had many sexual relationships before that. So he hooked up with this girl, and he told me that when he was having sex with her, he was actually he found it difficult because he was so used to watching a lot of porn, a lot of the girls they look a certain way. Some of the girls look really nice, on
some of them.
Some, depending on what you like, but
depending on what you like,
So he would be having sex with her, and he'd be thinking back to what he watched, what he watched on the internet, and he'd be thinking about these girls, and he told me that it was really weird because he was sort of losing his focus, and he wasn't getting aroused with the girl that he was with because of what he'd seen, and because of the expectation of how she should act. Yeah. And what she would be saying, the kind of all that dirty talk and all that stuff. So he didn't know what to do.
Because the problem is, you then get to the point where you're underwhelmed by actual real sex.
Yeah.
Because it's been built up to be, and then all these women are like absolute sex demons, and they're just doing everything, like every hole's a goal and all that jazz. The average woman,
it's not like that.
We're not like that. But I tell you time and time again, guys are very, very visual, where women are very, very emotional. So as soon as you put that in a sex scenario, you need to kind of create that emotion. But emotion is something that porn takes away from sex. It is emotionless, and it doesn't have that. It literally is straight in, bam, 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 no build up. Like you don't learn anything beforehand of how they've gotten those people into the bedroom and how they've created that trust. Obviously, they're getting paid to do this, so they will do things that the average woman won't. Like, okay, let's just all guns blazing. Anal. The average woman doesn't. It's not her go-to. You will find people that do enjoy it. You will. But the average woman is not going to be like...
not going to be up for it.
Not going to be up for it. Like, takes a lot for a woman to be up for that. And so, if you've watched a load of porn where and it's been anal porn or whatever, and these people have, all these women have been like, oh my god, yes, diva, la-di-da. When you get into that sexual thing, you're gonna try and put it in her bum, and she's not gonna like it. And then you ruin that interaction that you've had with that woman because you're trying to recreate something that is based on lies, essentially. It doesn't necessarily express female sexuality.
Yeah.
Because do you find that in porn, women are more of the, I would say, the toys, essentially? They're the ones that are doing it. And is it, I don't know, I haven't watched enough of it to know. Obviously, neither of you, we can speculate. Speculation. But yeah, do you think that as well, do you reckon that plays a role in real life sex and the difference between porn?
Yeah, I think, definitely. Like, what we see when people watch porn.
People other than me watch porn.
Yeah, I've never seen it before. But yeah, when people watch porn, it's what we have to understand, that you're essentially watching a movie. There's a lot. It's a big industry where they invest in cameras, in directors.
Yeah.
They have producers, directors, so they want to make it look good, and they'll film at a certain angle to make it look good. And obviously, like as you say, when you look at the girls, you look at the guys, they're a lot of them are in top-notch shape, and the girls will be portrayed in a certain way. And so I think definitely, like, when you're a guy, just as my client, when you're trying to have sex with a girl, or you're having sex with a girl, you feel that pressure. You have that pressure put onto you. You'll feel so much more pressure to kind of perform. And
do you feel that by watching too much porn, you think you have to be a porn star in the bedroom?
I think there would be an element to that. It all comes back down to how experienced is he. How much of the reality does he know? Because obviously, if he's been with a lot of different girls, then he will understand, as you said, what it takes for that sexual relation for that sex. How the sex looks like in real life.
Yeah.
But
because sex in real life, it's quite fumbly a lot of the time. Like the actual reality of sex.
It's
like
smooth.
you're making out, like it's smooth. On porn, it's like cut to this and cut to that, and the trousers accidentally fall off, and it's right. In reality, you're making out with someone, and you try and get the goddamn belt off, and it gets stuck.
You get stuck.
And you're just yanking at their hips, and that's
smacked on the face.
Literally, like you go to take someone's shirt off, and their elbow hits you in the nose, and you're like, ow! Like it just isn't that seamless and poetic. And
definitely.
If you're new to it again, you're gonna, when you do accidentally, if you can't get your trousers off, you can't get your pants down, whatever, as soon as you hit that hurdle, you're gonna feel like you've blown up the imagination and blown up what you're going through, and you've ruined it, when really it's all part and parcel. And it's like the bit in movies where they just roll off of each other. And I'm like, that's not really, because you have to do the awkward, hang on, let's get out, you know what I mean? And then it's all like icky.
Take the socks
and weird.
off. And
yeah, exactly.
The jeans get stuck in the socks.
Yeah, you've got them on like one leg and you're like trying to get them off. Yeah. It just isn't that picture perfect. And if you are inexperienced, your first sexual experience is gonna be a nightmare in your eyes. But actually, it's just normal. But then the problem is, what do you do? Because porn is not going away.
No.
Not going away. There's a lot of very horny teenage boys that are keeping that alive, and porn will never die. It is a massive industry, like you said, massive budgets now, and everybody's trying it. Everybody's even, attempting to be porn stars. There's amateur porn stars out there, all of this. Now, what do you do to bridge the gap between what porn is like and what sex is like? How do you bridge that gap with men?
Well, I think that guys need to go out, and guys need to meet women in real life. I think they need to cold approach and take girls home and form those normal relationships with girls. And I think the question of is porn detrimental to sex, that's where if you can maintain that fine balance between having relationships with girls organically and I think watching the porn, then I think it's okay. And also, look, even to go onto the other side, there are there could be positives to the guys who are a bit more mute in the sense that, you know, your Annabella's very creative, okay, but there could be guys
there are some
out
people
there,
that maybe don't know the potentials of what sex can be, because I'm not saying that you can't have that sort of sex with someone. You can, but I think it's the fact that that's actually more of a minority and with a special person, as opposed to every sexual endeavour that you will come across. Because there are, like I said at the top of this video, there are girls who love porn. I have friends who watch porn and they love it, and they use it with their partners, they use it by themselves. So those type of people, when you meet those type of people, then and you're into porn and they're into porn, you may have more of that sort of porn star sex. But then the question is, how do you find out if that person is? Do you ask them? Or is it like a casual, oh look, I accidentally left my porn on my laptop, gauge how they react? Or do you actually have that conversation with people?
I would, you know, for me, like, I think, in my opinion, I think guys, girls, I think they should just take the risk. And, you know, just as going for the kiss or taking her home, you know, I think, you should like, you know, if porn is what you're really into, then throw out, you know, open up the laptop and look, show her, you know, or play it and initiate it like that. What I've always wondered is, you know, when a guy and a girl are in like a relationship, say, you know, they've known each other for a long time, how do you think watching porn or introducing porn into that equation, do you think that how would that affect the relationship? Would it, like, would they both be as accepting, or is it something that you could do with a partner? What do you think?
So I think that if you are in a long-term relationship and your sex life has sort of died down, you always do need to reinvent stuff, and maybe introducing porn might be beneficial.
Spice it up.
Spice it up, for sure. I definitely think it has benefits. But if you, speaking from a female's point of view, if you're a guy thinking about introducing porn to your relationship, I'd be very careful about how the girl feels about herself in a physical manner.
Right, okay.
Because at that point, a lot of sex can die in relationships if a girl doesn't feel like she's attractive anymore.
Right, okay.
And that is a big thing, and that's a constant work throughout everyone's relationships, through marriages, through everything. You have to keep making sure that your partner feels like they're special to you and that they're attractive, and make them feel beautiful in your eyes, because of course you change over time. How you looked when you first got together may be very different to how you are now, and so her feelings could be very, very different, and her body confidence could be different.
Okay.
So you run the risk is introducing, like you said, those girls that look a specific way and act a certain way and do all that stuff. You do run the risk of it actually having a more detrimental effect than having a positive one, just because if she's going to compare herself, girls do have a tendency to compare themselves to people and feel a little bit jealous, whatever. If you're watching this gorgeous big boobed blonde bombshell, you're watching her do things, you might be getting off and you might be having the best time, but she might be sitting there feeling, I could never be like that.
Do you think that the factor of that is also, like, do you think it solely depends on the type of girl, or do you think it depends on the relationship?
I think if she is confident, because you can have, like, if somebody, for me, if let's say if I was in that situation, I'm confident enough in myself and in my sexual abilities that I wouldn't find it threatening. I'd be like, game on. But so if your girlfriend is of a similar nature, or wife or partner, then it's probably going to be more beneficial to try new things, because a lot of the time I think as well, sex can stagnate because you've only got a certain amount of tricks in your playbook.
Right, okay.
And then it becomes like, we go to this position, then we do this, then we do this, then he comes, then we go to sleep. It can become very sort of...
So you know the ending becomes like a movie.
If you already know the movie, you've already seen the movie, you've already been to the movie 20 times, you're really going to be less willing to watch it again and again and again. So that porn may be very good. Even if you don't necessarily watch porn, maybe watch porn by yourself first to figure out if there's certain videos that she might like. Bearing in mind that you know your partner better than anybody else, there might be a specific style She might like 2 girls, 1 guy. She might like it. Like obviously, the world of porn is
the weird and wonderful.
Steer away from bukkake. That's not gonna do it. It's just not gonna do it for your partner. I know I'm speaking for her, but I'm assuming if she's normal, she's not going to want to do that with you and your pals. So stay away from that. But that's the thing. It can, you have to read it. Don't just jump into it thinking, yeah, it's going to be great. Let's put porn on and we're going to suddenly become a porn star relationship.
Yeah.
Do think about the emotional feelings of your partner and how they could be benefited and how it could worsen her emotional stance and the way that she sees herself, because it could tip either way. It's
funny you say that. You just reminded me, I had this, I'll tell you a little bit about a story, but I had an experience once with a girl, right? And you know, we were all together, we used to have sex, and then, you know, all of a sudden I wanted to show her something, you know. I wanted to show her some porn, right? So I showed her the porn, you know, and then she was like, oh my God, like, you know, what is this? So yeah, of course, you know, like there are, as you said, you know, there are certain risks into what you do, like, you know, but I always believe in, you know, I like challenging the limits, and I always like exploring, you know, avenues and places.
I bet you do. Avenues, places, orifices.
And that's not an innuendo. That is not. So yeah,
funny.
She's taking the words out of my mouth, but no, and you know, I think it's interesting. You know, it's always interesting how humans interact with each other and how the genders kind of interact. And actually, one other thing. Sorry, going a little bit off topic, but for the guys out there, you know, you'd be surprised because, you know, a lot of these women who are really into this industry, and, you know, a lot of the top performing women, female porn stars, you'd be surprised to know that a lot of them actually have personal issues, you know, in their lives. But I mean, they're making a lot of money, and they're comfortable with what they have. Whether even a lot of them are even married, you know, it's quite unbelievable. And we can leave that for another video, but
debate the lives of porn stars.
That's a debate on its own. But the thing is, you know, they have all this stuff, they have all this, you know, success, money, but a lot of them are not happy, you know. A lot of them are happy, and they portray in these videos, when a guy watches or a girl watches these videos, you know, you always see a kind of like a utopia. You know, you find yourself in a utopia where everything's amazing, you know, and your emotions are really amazing, really positive. But in reality, you know, it's not really all sunshine and rainbows. You know, there is a dark side to it, and that's what you have to be aware of, and that should be a motivator for you to go out and to approach, you know. And like we've said in our videos, you know, in our other videos in KamaTV, like, go out and take those risks and form those real relationships, you know. And look, if you have a girl that you like and a girl on the go, if you have a few girls on the go who you're seeing and having sex with, then by all means, you know, watching a bit of porn on the side is, in my opinion, is fine. But you know, try and maintain that balance. Watching porn isn't the issue. It's how you then put it into real life. If it changes your expectations, that's when it is ruining your sexual experiences, because you're trying to make it reality. And what I will pull up on something that you said, you're going out and you're taking the chance, going out and meeting these women and forging these relationships and getting intimate with them. You actually might be surprised that your sex might not be like porn stars, but you'd be surprised at how much more pleasure you can get from having an emotional connection with a woman. Oh, definitely. Like, some of the best sex I've ever had, I literally went cross-eyed there, though. Some of the best sex I've ever had has only been, like, 2 positions. It wasn't anything crazy, but I was so emotionally involved with that man that he literally blew my mind. And he wasn't trying to put my legs up here and wasn't tying me up and doing crazy stuff to me. It was very, very simple. But the emotional
connection that I had with him, it was like he was a drug and I couldn't get enough of him. And that, I've had some crazy escapades, let's not lie, but that will still go down on the list of some of the best sex I've ever had. And so you need to remember that trying to get that emotional connection actually will fulfill you a lot more than trying to do all of the Kama Sutra, and having all these crazy sexual escapades. Because when you are pleasuring somebody that you love or you care for deeply, that can be the most hottest, sexiest thing ever. So don't underestimate that at all.
Very, very poetic. Very,
Right?
Lovely.
I try bringing it back in as we were talking about bukkake. So we're kind of
a little bit of a contrast.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts, trying to keep it level playing.
But going a bit off topic though, like, what do you think is a factor in having that connection? Do you think it's related to their confidence, or do you think it's just something that you develop over time with the person? Or
I think
can that be developed, do you think, in the relationship?
I definitely think it can be developed, but I do think your start point has to be very solid. Because I think to have the sex that I just mentioned, it was so intense. That man, to me, at that moment was it. It was the only person I saw, and he was incredible. But you forget that trying to find that out of the sea of all these people is really tough, and was a really rare experience, because I haven't found anybody like that since.
Interesting, yeah.
So I think you can create it and it can evolve, but that is so special and so unique. I think people think it's easy to have that, and people think that they'll find it, but it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time knowing who you are, what you want as a person, and entering into these relationships with such authenticity.
Yeah.
Because that's what me and him were. It was authentic.
That's key.
And it's so key. And it's not about looking a certain way, being something, being successful. It's about being so authentic in who you are and everything about you. You know yourself inside out. So when you meet somebody that you gel with, it's so secure and so safe. And when you're building something that's so secure and safe, that's when your sexual chemistry can become electric.
Yeah.
Because you trust that person so much with everything you are, because you've put yourself out as is. You're not hiding anything. You're not scraping off the edges to be this perfect person. Go, bam, this is me. And they go, I like that. Bam, this is me. Together. I do think you can create it, but that is very special. And you should go out and find it. Also take your time in finding it. Yeah. You don't have to just try and plow through the women that you see. We'll talk about, going out and meeting women. You're never going to get 100% success rate. Don't care who you are. I don't care. Yeah, it's a numbers game. It is a numbers game, because you can never guarantee what that person's going through in that moment. You ask her out in a week's time, it might be a different answer. You don't know. And so it's the same with your sexual interactions. You're going to get some that are amazing, and you're going to get some that aren't. When you don't vibe together, doesn't mean that either of you are maybe bad at sex. It's just that your sex vibe and their sex vibe just don't mesh. Yeah. And so it shouldn't be a reflection on you. You shouldn't think that you're doing anything wrong if it's not this incredible chemistry, but you need to be able to know yourself and be like, and admit, even if she's the hottest person in the world, you need to be able to admit, maybe our sexual chemistries don't match. Mm-hmm. And that's fine. Go back to the drawing board, go back out there, find somebody else, and you will find somebody that it sparks with. And the good thing is at that point, if you're so confident and you've gone out there and you've got it, you will just consistently get laid. Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be very Jeremy Paxman now. I'm going to go back to the original question.
Back to the original question, yeah. We trailed off. Back to the original question,
No, but I completely agree. What I'm really interested about is porn ruining sex? Like, does it... for example, like being a guy or a girl and knowing that you have that content, you know, after you can watch that content. So if you're having sex with a girl or a girl having sex with a guy, like, do you think that it gives you an excuse not to be putting in like 100%?
Just the tip. Sorry.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Just the tip.
Just a little, yeah. Not going in all. No.
So,
but I mean,
so in other words,
do you think it makes you lazy to, you know, to give it all your effort, because knowing that, you know, you can get stimulated after that, so you have less to lose in the sense, you know, you kind of have it easy. You have that.
Yeah, it's something to fall back on.
You have.
Yeah. No, I completely understand, because literally touching on combining the two, when you meet that person, when you have that sexual chemistry, it doesn't always happen. So if you have that as a scapegoat, that you know you can get your kicks from porn and you don't have to try and you don't have to cultivate that sexual relationship, then that can be a problem, because you really do need to invest time in your partner. You need to figure out how she works, and she in turn should figure out how you work, and you should build upon that and trial and error, and things might go wrong, things might get icky, it might not be the best thing you've ever done, some of your sex that you have while you're experimenting, but you definitely need to invest. If you're just defaulting, going, oh, I'm just gonna stick it in and then I'm gonna go finish myself off afterwards,
not the right thing.
That is not the right thing. And if you're in that relationship right now, you need to do something about it, because that's not benefiting you, because you're not experiencing sex how it can be experienced, and neither is she. And that is, it's one of my biggest debates, when people don't want to talk about sex and they don't want to have these discussions, because they're all quite, you know, a little bit frigid, a little bit scared of people's things. Like, you don't understand how incredible of an experience good sex can be. It is one of the benefits of us evolving into the humans that we have. We are one of the very few animals that has sex for pleasure. And my God, can the pleasure be insane. So when you're actually robbing yourself of that, I get quite sad.
Yeah.
When I meet people who aren't sexually free, and I definitely encourage not to be scared of having a conversation about it with your partner. If you do feel like you are falling back on porn for stimulus, you should definitely not be afraid to experiment. You should definitely, if you are single, go out and experiment. And that's men and women. Women are put on this, we talked about it in a different Karma Couch episode, but women aren't sexualized. Their sexual freedom is still, it's teetering in the balance. We're a lot sexually freer than we used to be, for sure.
Yeah.
But there's still this taboo that...
I think they're still holding back.
They are still holding back. And I think you should go out and you should get it. Don't be ashamed. Do it. Watch porn. If there's any women watching this, watch it. Do it. Just experience. It might not be for you, but don't close yourself off to a part of the world and a part of that's something you actually might enjoy. So yeah, I think...
I really like what you said though, when you said porn actually kind of kills the whole evolutionary process of humans. Like, it kind of, as you said, you know, we're the only ones who
have sex for pleasure.
Who do it for pleasure, which, you know, that's quite interesting.
It's definitely something that I think people need to explore. And porn, in a nutshell, can increase your versatility, it can increase your knowledge, and of course, if you are new and getting to know your body as well, it can help you get there and find that. But it should never ever be a replacement or a substitute for real physical interaction with your partner.
For the guys and girls who are, you know, going out and who are looking to meet someone, you know, I would suggest, like, if you know that you're going to go out in the next few days, you know, I actually wouldn't watch any porn, because
this is what he's talking for his friend. Yeah, carry on.
No, I think it will demotivate. You know, it would kind of demotivate you, because
you're not going to find that out there.
Yeah, you're not going to find it, and it is kind of like, it's a thing where, you know, you watch porn and you do lose a bit of your power. You do lose a bit of your motivation when, you know, in having sex. So. But as guys who are starting off and who are getting into this, and who are looking for a girl or looking for a partner, like, I think you need all the motivation that you can get, and getting the motivation from having the sex is also important. So, you know, I would refrain from watching any porn, especially on the day that you're going to go out, or you know,
because it's going to lower your libido. It's exactly hang on, you don't want to be getting a girl pregnant on the first night. Ignore him. But you want to be in it, and you want to experience it in the most organic way possible. If your mind is in the gutter of all this murky porn that you've watched and all of this,
all these blonde bombshells.
Exactly. How are us redheads going to stand a chance if all you're going to look is for blonde chicks? But it will dampen your spirits, and again, putting it into context of what porn is and what reality is, it's going to misguide you. And if you're off your game and misguided when you're actually putting it into process of picking up a woman and taking her home and doing that, you're going to miss the correlation. So if you stop it a few days before, you'll actually probably have a more organic,
definitely, yeah. No, I think so.
More intimate relationship building in that moment.
Yeah. Do you think that would apply for women and men equally? What do you think?
Yeah.
From a woman's side, obviously, you're not.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because it's hard because I don't watch.
I mean, but speaking
porn to be drummed down. Like I've never watched it enough. But I think sometimes, especially if you get a guy, because it can work both ways. You can get a guy who's not a porn star. So the girl could be trying all these moves, and the guy could be like, that, I'm done, because he's not ready for that amount of sexuality coming his way. So he could be one pump and done, and then she's going to feel disappointed, so she'll go back to porn. So I definitely think it is a two-sided coin for both men and women. It should be a substitute in tough times, but actually just go out and get the real thing. So
the $1 million question is porn ruining sex?
Back to the first question. Is porn ruining sex?
Do we think it is?
For inexperienced people, yes.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would say the same thing, yeah.
So yeah, I think if you want to venture into porn when you're more experienced, by all means, because you understand the difference between the two. If you are inexperienced,
stay away.
Yeah, minimalize it, or also maybe watch more normal porn. Because once you get into the deep, dark realms of all that I clicked around and it goes dark and deep and weird. If you're venturing around there, then you're really messing with your scope of what real sex is like. So if you are struggling to get out there and interact on a daily basis, or pick up women and have sexual relationships with them, maybe still get your kicks from porn, by all means. Maybe keep to the more vanilla, normal stuff. That might benefit you. But I think we've talked about porn enough now, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
I think we've talked about a lot of porn. Okay, so we really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I love talking about this stuff. So we'll do loads more Karma Couch videos coming your way with different topics. If you do want to give us your feedback, we'd love to hear about it. Drop us a comment in the comment box. We do try to endeavour to read all of them. So do let us know if you've got any ideas of topics that you want us to debate. Anything. I am an open book. We are open books here at Kamalifestyles. So anything you want to know, we will talk about it for you. Like us on all of our social media, and all of the links you can find below. If you do want to get coached by us, then we have a contact us link that you can find in the description box below. Take you to kamalifestyles.com. You can talk to one of our customer service reps, and we can get you in touch with what's going to be the best course and things that we can help you out with, and make you the very best version of yourself, so you can go out there, you can turn off Pornhub, and you can go out there and get actually laid. We can help you out with that. So do click on the link and get in contact with us. And whilst you're there, check out all of our ebooks, all of our other products. The whole world's your oyster at kamalifestyles.com. We got it all for you. So yeah, I've been Annabella Rose. This handsome chap. It's been Iain Myles. Were you going to say something?
And guys, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
I was going to say that.
To KamaTV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't miss a thing.
And as Annabella said, check out kamalifestyles.com.
Yeah.
For our products and services.
And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.